Go.
So everyone, we're back. PowerStroke Jew. Remember, I don't know if I've said it in any of the previous clips, but please like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. I appreciate all that. Appreciate all viewership, all subscriptions. So thank you for all of that. I'm on the driver's side now, and let me show you. If you come around on this side, I'm gonna take apart. Pull out the airbox. To pull out the airbox, you got to pull out this little filter minder. This just tells you when it gets too much vacuum in it. It plugs up and it sets a light off in there, letting you know it's time to change your air filter. You got to pull off the mass air flow sensor. Disconnect that. You pull that out of the way. You get a pair of pliers. Take off. These hoses are a little bit spongy because of the fuel, but take that out of the way. I got a topside creeper over here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but a lot of people aren't going to have this. You know, I use this so I'm not laying on top of the engine. I don't want to get the hood latch up in my stomach. I've had to do that in the past a lot. It hurts. You know, you try to lay shop towels. Another thing you might want to get is something like one of these kneeling pads. You can put that over that. I know a lot of people do that. That helps a lot. But this is just better. I like this a lot. This one, so like I said, someone's been in here before. But this here has a hose clamp, worm style. So instead of the squeeze one like I just took off, you just pull that off. Same as I did the other one. Move it off to the side. Got my brand spanking new Earthquake that I only got because I couldn't get the snap on because I wasn't going to buy it in red. But with an 8mm, you can take off these two 8s from the bottom. Once these two are out of the way, you get this 8 right here on the, I don't know if you can see my finger, for the air filter. Just loosen that up. So at this point, you can take the bottle out a little bit. Oh, I had that cap. That one flying. But once you get that out of the way, this air box will come right out. Get off of here. You can get this out of the way. At that point, there is a hose clamp underneath the degas bottle. And it doesn't matter, for all I care at this point on this job, you can break this bottle off, because I'm going to replace all these hoses because of the fuel and the coolant concern. But if you pull this clamp back out of the way, you can pull this out, and then you can get the bottle out. So I'll just set that off to the side. Now, you look here, it's missing it's supposed to have a stud in the tin here. It's broken. It's got one of them. Get your panel clip tool. Get that out of the way. Now, I'm going to stop the video shortly, but I want to show you what you do now. Take this 10 off. There should have been another one right here. And you loosen this 8 back here on the turbo for this intake duct. And then you can also pull this out. That's your breather tube. You're going to want to replace the green O-ring that's there. And then you can get this out of the way. Once this is out of the way, in the back, there's two 8s holding the FICM on. FICM is the fuel injector control module. And there's 3 connectors on the bottom, the squeeze clips. You squeeze them from both sides and you pull them apart. Then you take off the 10s that are holding, each of these brackets have 10s on them. This EBP sensor, exhaust back pressure sensor, has a 10 on it. You take that off, take the 10s holding the bracket off. Same thing on the bracket back here. I don't know if you can see it way back here. I'll show you later if you can't right now, where my finger's pointing way back here. There's a 10 there and a 10 on the top of the valve cover. So you take that off, those two 10s off, and you can pull off the brackets. Sometimes when you try to take those 10s off, the valve cover bolts start to spin. So what you might need to do is put a 12 millimeter wrench on underneath the bracket onto the valve cover bolt to hold it, to break the 10s loose. I mean, sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't, but hopefully we'll see what goes on. But I'm gonna stop the video here, and I'll prep it, and I'll start showing you guys a little more later. All right, go. All right, stop. All right, you see that? That was exactly what I talked about the head valve cover bolt spinning with the bracket, the 10 millimeter bracket. So you get a 12 millimeter socket, wrench, open end wrench to hold the valve cover bolt. Now spin it off. That's good right there. And as you can see now, the 10 comes off right there, and the valve cover bolt stays down. That's exactly what you want to do. That was a quick one. It's probably going to happen on all of these. I'm not going to show every single one of them, but I'm glad it happened on the front one, where it's nice and easy to see that. I'll get back at you guys in a minute. Well, while I'm here, let me show you. This is the fuel injection control module, and it sits like right here. You saw the 10 right here that was on there. Well, on the back, it's held on in here. This brace bracket goes over it, and it's got two 8 millimeter nuts or bolts. When you take those out, you loosen it up, you pull it off, and then these are the fuel injector control module connectors. There's 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3. And you squeeze here, and you squeeze the same place on the other side. You squeeze them in, pull them down. Squeeze them in, pull them down. All 3 of them. It's a real pain sometimes. Sometimes they're tight because it's hot and it's been on there for a long time and it doesn't want to come out. This one didn't give me any trouble at all. But they will come out. Just give it a second. Just make sure once you hear that little click, take it down. Same thing when you put them back on. Don't just think they're on. You want to hear the snap. When you hear the snap, the click, 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 you know it's on there. While I'm here, let me see this to show you the bracket. Look down at that bolt right here, Xavier. That's the EVP bracket, and it's got a 10 millimeter on there as well. You're going to want to take that off, and that way you can take this off, get the EVP sensor bracket off. Sometimes that bites you a little bit too. Once that's off, I have one more 10 to take off. But once I take this 10 off now, this bracket will come off. Same thing with the back. Once I get the 2 10s off, they'll come off, and then I'll hit the valve cover bolts, and I'll show you guys while I'm doing that as well. All right, stay tuned.
No.
All right, guys, I got the brackets off. I showed you. I forgot to show you right here. Xavier, focus on here. On this valve cover bolt, the dipstick is held on by a 10 millimeter bolt as well. So you got to take our nut. You got to take that one out to get that one out of the way. And come back over here. Once you get that off, I took the back one off already. You know, but all the valve cover bolts are 12s. There's one that's going to be a little tricky in the back, but I'll show you the setup and then I'll do it. I don't know how long it'll last doing this daily, but in a pinch, man, it worked. It was $129. It gave me $30 off if I got whatever their membership is called at Harbor Freight for the $30 membership they have. It pays for itself. The membership costs $30. So the membership was free by getting this ratchet. So that's no big deal. Plus I can get some discounts and stuff. I buy stuff there, but see, that was Didn't like that one. I don't know. It doesn't seem to have an indicator to tell me where the battery's at either. So it might. I'm just using it off of what it came with. So it might be low on battery. But I did buy a backup battery as well, and that's charging right now. So this is going to be like my ultimate backup. You know, it's going to be a pretty much brand new tool by the time I get my snap-on one. Oh, there's, as you can see, I still have the 12 on the valve cover bolt in the back. All right, we're going to press pause for a second, guys. See you in a minute. A little bit more to go on that one. So for that last one in the corner, it is accessible with air or with the electric ratchet. You just need, on this one I just use the 1/4 inch adapter, or 3/8 2/4 inch adapter, about a 6-inch extension, and a wobbly 12, universal 12. And this one came right out. And now, if you look at the valve cover, it should be ready to come off. Out with the valve cover. Out with the valve cover gasket. They're reusable valve cover gaskets. No biggie. And let me get set up for the next part. I'm going to show you how to take out the oil rail on this side. See you in a minute, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. I'm about to take off this oil rail. I broke them all loose by hand. I'm going to run them out with the ratchet. Shame on whoever worked on this. I think I mentioned before that that this had all 8 injectors on. I think I showed you on the other side. One was stripped out going on. It was way too tight. So I'm going to have to extract it. It's very hard to get out. But these ones, every single one of them creaked and cracked like if I was doing a torque to yield head bolt. Shouldn't have been like that tight. Fortunately, none of them stripped on this side. But here's the standpipe on the oil rail on this side. You know, you break it loose. Take a couple turns with it. Now you don't want to use this big giant ratchet the whole time. You know, you have no room, no space. So from there, usually take it off. Get a small little flex head. This is a Craftsman, you know, with the 3/8 to 1/2 inch adapter on it. Get that in there, and then you can just run it down by hand real quick. Get that hose out of your way. Take it out. It's a lot quicker. And this one, we'll see if the pipe comes out whole or in 2 pieces. Feels like it's going to come out in 2 pieces, but I'll show you. Yeah, so the other piece stayed in. So when I pull off the rail, it's going to come out with the rail. No big deal. On this now, like I said, I've got all these loose already. Got my brand new little Cyclops light right here on the firewall, and it's working pretty well. But there's 8 of these, I believe. I don't know if you can hear me, but there's 8 of these. Run all these out real quick. If you ever have to change an EVP filter to take it off of the little bracket, I believe it's a 16 millimeter. Those get held down by 16 millimeter. The bracket, anyways, into the sensor. I'll find out what size this is. The sensor itself is. I'll let you know. You can know how to take that off if you need to. Anyone else using an earthquake? Let me know. Tell me what you think about it. If you like it, you don't like it. If you have something to compare it, there's a bunch of cheap stuff on Amazon you can pick up. I actually had a chemo junk. Used it once, and the next day I could hold the anvil, and it wouldn't. It was just done. isn't too bad of a job. Again, you know, if you're have any competency with tools whatsoever, you should be able to handle this. Don't let it intimidate you. You know, people say, yeah, well, it's because you have experience, you've done a lot of them. Yeah, and that may be the case, but I didn't have experience the first one I did, and I managed. Might have to get the last one out by hand because this might be a little bit too big, but too bulky, but we'll see. Oh no, it should be alright. Okay, now this oil rail is filled with oil. Who would think that, huh? Oil rail filled with oil? So you don't want to just pop it off because oil is going to get everywhere. So let's get the glow plug connector out of the way real quick. You want to do that, you pop this tab in, the little red tab, pop it in, squeeze the connector, it pops out of the way. Then you get the glow plug connector out of the way. Just get your nifty little pry bar, pry up on it a little bit, get it loose, and like I said, you can see oil dripping from this side already from where I took out the standpipe, but just kind of pull it out, let it hang right here, and the nipples that sit on the injectors are all right here now, so you just let that drain out for a minute. But that's how you take an oil rail out. You know, no big deal at all. I'll show you the standpipe that got stuck in the head right now, easy to take out, just a pair of pliers. Now that you see this, how you get it out, you know, you just pull it out. Once it drains, you pull it and take it out, get it out of your way. I'm not going to show that. It's not no big deal. Anybody can, you know, finagle it out. The other side needs finagling. This side just comes right out. You've got plenty of room. What I'm going to do next is prep or get the tools out that I need to get the injectors out and show you how to do that. I'll see you guys in a minute. What I'm doing. Go. Alright guys, I'm going to start off right here with number 2. I got the oil rail off, took it out of the way. Let me show you something. I did all the injectors except for this one so I can show you. They're all the same, but there's a metal clip. You know, you squeeze it in, you pull the tap, pull this off. I mean, if you're really fighting you can actually pull these out, but don't lose the clips, and then it just slides right out. Then to get the injector out from in here, there's a tool Ford makes that mine walked away. Grew legs, it's pretty cool, but anyways, if you get an 11/16 socket, now you can put this, move the harness out of the way a little bit, and throw it on there, and it fits over the tabs. Oops, there we go. So you do that, that'll break it loose, and you can pop the injector out, because what these injectors have, if you can focus on this one, I'll show you, there's a clip right here and a clip right here, and that clip comes up in through here and it locks itself in. The 11/16 socket squeezes them together and it allows you to release it. Now that I got that done, if you look at this point of number 1 injector, right in between the harness and the little electrical part for the box, this is a T40, and I already have them all broken loose. I broke them loose by hand, and then you can run the injector hold down. It's right there. Just run that all the way out. I think, if I remember correctly, like the early 2003 was a T45, but it's the exact same thing. You just run this down, run these out. These were easy. Sometimes people over torque these, and they're a pain to get out. They want to strip out, but these ones came out no problem. They didn't fight me at all trying to get these loose, fortunately. So once they all come out, and then the Cyclops light I got, man, this freaking actually is pretty freaking awesome. Mounts to that gives a perfect light in the back. It's rechargeable. I'll give you guys a part number later. if I redo it. But those are that's how you loosen it. Now I'm going to focus here on number 4, and as I pull it out, you see that's how it goes in. That's the injector. This is the hold down. It actually comes off. And if you look at it, there's a little tab right there. And that tab fits into that little groove or that slot. So that you know you're going on right. You set it in like that, and it'll go right in to where this bolt mounts up with the mounting hole. Alright, so that's how you take out the injectors. I already got this side done. Now they're ready to come out. I'm just going to take them out, clean up, cover the engine up, and get ready to try to fight with that one that's stripped out on the oil rail on the other side. What I might do is I talked to my buddy Justin Dow, and he's going to loan me his RBRT torque set, and I might pick it up and show a little video of how to use that in action. So that's going to be pretty cool. But until the meantime, you know, I don't know when I'm going to post this. Might be tonight, might be later in the week, but I will be posting some stuff. So we'll move on from here. But anyways, PowerStroke Jude, out.